Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, aka Sir Knight, and this is the Roundtable Reacts. Last night, the Cleveland Browns upset and handedly defeated the Cincinnati Bengals at home on Halloween night, Monday Night Football, prime time. It was awesome and unexpected for me. Boy, was I wrong. I had predicted the Browns would take their sixth L, and I love being wrong. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna just say it like it is, and when you're not right, it's perfectly okay. This is any given Sunday or Monday night, as they say, and we played a damn near flawless game, A to Z. The most complete game they've played all year. I'm gonna start off with the obvious, the defense. I mean, I don't care or I understand that Jamar Chase didn't play, but injuries are part of the game. We had people and pieces not playing either. One of the best guards in the entire league didn't play. David Njoku is a key and pivotal part of our offense, didn't play. So, I mean, yes, that's a factor, but they still have good pieces on that offense and those wide receivers. And they kind of got their act together towards the end a little bit, but it was by then it was way too late. So I'm going to highlight the defense and just give them kudos, give them their props. When you got it, you got it, and they had it last night. Standouts was Miles Garrett showed up and showed out. Um, you know, Everything that you expect that guy to be, he was last night. And some of his athletic moves, that spin move, I mean, good grief. He is that big, that strong, and can move like that. Just so glad he's on my team. I mean, wow. So, I don't know what the difference was between. I mean, at some point, so much losing is going to piss you off. I think we as fans, not being professionals and not living in it, um, kind of tend to take it more emotionally, more severely than the players do. It's their business, it's their livelihood, and I think they all take it seriously. But you got to remember, win or lose, they're still getting paychecks. So the kind of their mentality probably a little different than ours. Um, See that in week 2 or 3. Probably after, definitely the Atlanta game. The Jets game we can all attribute to just we thought it was in the bag and lost focus and let it go. Didn't play a full 60 minutes. We kind of got shocked and awed into that L. But everything since probably since Atlanta, that's when I want to start seeing people getting up in each other's grills and hashing it out and trying to figure out where the accountability and leadership comes from. So with that being said, I mean, the turnovers, the sacks. I mean, that's not going to be every game. The NFL is just there's too much parity, but boy, was it fun to watch. And they, to know that they can do that and are capable on as a team, as a unit, as individual players. It's certainly none of that hurts going forward. So I another shout out, Sione Takitaki. Um, I did not know he was capable of making as many plays as he did. Um, and I'm talking like solid, right where he was supposed to be, did what he was supposed to do, didn't miss his tackles, didn't miss his assignments, then went kind of above and beyond creating turnovers and pressures. Stood out to me. Great game for him. So happy for him. When you play like that, you deserve reps. You deserve to be out there. So it's unfortunate that injuries kind of led him to being put in that position. But now that he's there, he's a young man taking advantage of his opportunities. So let's hope he can, stay on the field and back it up. I don't think he's going to have that type of game every game, but what what I feel good about is the emotion he plays defense with is what I want to see. Um, Mad when he makes a mistake, celebrates when he does something right, celebrates with his teammates when they do something right. Um, so then another thing too is that I feel like it's worth mentioning is Emerson, number 23. Dear Lord, you would not know he's a rookie by watching him. If they didn't tell you, or you didn't study the draft or follow this team, daily on Twitter or sports talk shows or whatever, watching that game last night until Troy Aikman or Joe Buck, God, I hate Joe Buck, mentioned it. I mean, he's just a specimen and he plays fearlessly, and I hope he doesn't lose that. I feel like that's kind of Denzel's problem. Is he's I don't know if he got the bag and is afraid he's not going to be able to back it up, or he's afraid of getting hurt, which he tends to do, unfortunately, from time to time. So, but yeah, he plays above, beyond his years, and so what a steal in the third round. Second thing I want to transition into is coaching. I've been really hard on the coaching staff. So Joe Woods, I saw more creativity in the first 2 quarters of this game than I have all year. Now, if it and there were some things that on the D line especially that were stunts and blitzes uh, that I just didn't know we had in our arsenal at all. I hadn't seen anything like that. So, it's a shame that we had to get to this point to get this creative, to find solutions to our problems, and to create opportunities for success. But they did, and they executed, which I know the execution part of it, there's only so much as a coach can be held accountable for. Um, so, when your players are doing what they're supposed to be doing and it's working, the coach gets to shine in that glory. So as a unit, though, they were focused, they had a mission, they were prepared, and they came out to make a statement, and they did, and it was impressive. Um, so Joe Woods, why does it take this long, or do we have to go through all this to get here? Is my question to you, but that is the type of effort and design and purpose that I know I appreciate as a fan watching. So, with that being said, another thing too is I want to talk about Stefanski and his adjustments that he made. Okay, so he made the one boo boo with the double reverse pass. Hey, if it had worked, we'd have been kissing the ground the guy walks on. Here's what I'll say: is you're 2-5 at this point. The first quarter scoreless. You're trying. You're trying. You gotta win this game. You gotta figure out a way. So I feel like he's emptying the chambers. Um, I didn't get to see like the all 22 view of the play, but to me, well, here's what I'll say. So I think schematically and timing wise, it was the right time to pull the trigger on that. Things go way different on the field and in live action than they do in practice. I can guarantee you every time Amari Cooper practiced that play and throwing the ball, he was not getting hit and drugged down and spun while throwing it. I did hear or read somewhere that he was trying to throw the ball out of bounds and failed to do so. After that play, I feel like he said, "Okay, I'm gonna stop trying to deny who we are." And we started seeing jumbo packages, 2 running backs, at one point, like 8 offensive linemen, either in tight end formation or fullback formation or whatever. But this team runs the ball. Okay. Now it was tough sledding against Cincinnati's front, and not every run was as efficient as I've seen other games against other defenses. I mean, there were games where legitimately Nick Chubb was getting 4 or 5, sometimes like damn near close to 6 yards a carry at will. That was not the case last night. It was 2 yards, 2 3 painful yards in a cloud of dust. Famine, famine, feast. Then he'd break one, or Kareem would break one. We just stuck with it, right? Every yard on the ground came at a price to that defense, and it eventually paid off. And then when we got in the red zone, it was um, it was just beautiful to see. Like, this is how we're going to score the ball. It's our best versus your best. Stop us, and they couldn't. And that, I mean, you have the best running back in the game, in my opinion. Definitely top three. Stats wise, I don't know where he falls, but between Saquon, Nick Chubb, and McCaffrey, um, I just don't. I don't. I'll take Nick Chubb. So Stefanski realized what we needed to do was stick to who we are, right? And then what did that open up? The passing game. I mean, it's Cleveland football 101. Uh, and maybe things will change when the quarterback changes, but right now, Jacoby needs to feel like he's got time in the pocket to make those really crisp, clear decisions that he likes to make. Um, he likes to throw the ball with certainty. And when he hasn't been able to do that this year, is I feel like that's when the turnovers happen. So, but things opened up. Our receivers, for the most part, caught the ball, which I'll get to in a minute. I love the sequence under 2 minutes where we got the ball back and we called timeout at the appropriate time. Cincinnati misses the field goal. We get the ball back, get enough yardage to give our kicker a chance, and we go into the halftime scoring points. We get the classic Bill Belichick double dip, right? We score points to end the half. We get the ball. Let's score again. And there's nothing the other team can do about the score because their offense is not on the field. Such a powerful advantage to be taken advantage of and exploited. So I'm going to transition to the outside of the coaching. I do have some points I'll get to with the special teams, but with the offense, kudos to every single member of the offensive line. They all contributed, and by the end of the game, a hard-fought, standout win over the Bengals in the trenches. And the commentators kept saying it all night. I was watching on the TV. Just that it was clear who wanted it more last night. So I think we were desperate, and I think it came through. And honestly, I kind of feel like in the NFL, that's how you have to play every game because it's so tight. Otherwise, that effort and against other teams is not going to lead to such a blowout, right? It may make the difference in getting that a last second field goal to win the game. Uh, you may need that same effort to put yourself in that position, right? It's always nice to have a lead and bolster it and sit on it, but that's not going to happen every week. So, and then I want to talk about Jacoby Brissett in the fact that I really appreciate his attitude and mindset, his approach to this season. Um, he has said that he knows his days are numbered, but he's just going to enjoy the ride and play really, really hard. And he has. And I think sticking in there, sticking in that pocket, taking those hits, delivering the ball the way he did, and then that run for the touchdown, that was awesome. His determination on the 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 He did. He got stopped for like a half yard loss and then kept going and kept going. I was afraid they were going to blow the whistle for forward progress or whatever, and they didn't. They let him drive forward, and he wanted it, and he got it. Um, so the next thing is Donovan Peoples-Jones is a very solid wide receiver for this team, and he has hands. Um, very, very reliable hands. So I feel like he might be one of those ball players if we have maybe a more dynamic passer that doesn't need 2 yards of separation to catch the ball or to bring it in. I mean, he's made some tough catches this year. Um, he's been consistent. He stays healthy. Knock on wood. I don't want to be that guy that jinxes him, but I just wanted to say I saw it. I appreciated it. Um, and he played well, very well last night. Um, one thing too, before I transition, my next topic would be the special teams. Is what I noticed last night, offensively and defensively. I don't know if this is like a coaching thing or just a player mentality, but our guy, wherever he was, running the ball, catching the ball, defensive tackles, and every team does this, but they were making a point to go pick each other up. It didn't matter who it was. And I just really I saw that, and I mean, from A to Z, if you were on the ground and needed help, you, there was always a hand. Now, some guys they just get up on their own. You're thinking about the play or what, am I coming off the field? Lord knows what's going on in their minds. They just don't see the hand. Um, sometimes you need help because it's a mass of tangled bodies, especially when there's like a loose fumble or something like that. But anyway, I thought that was really cool, and I'm glad that that's how my team, represents themselves on the field and how they handle their business and looking out for each other. So I do want to talk about the special teams. Like, what's up with the blocked field goals? I mean, I realize the farther away you are, the lower you got to kick it, and but a 53-yard field goal isn't that uncommon in the NFL. It's not commonly made as let's say a 42 or 40 yarder, let alone in the 30s and extra point range. But I just don't think the frequency of blocked field goals should be as high as it's been for our team this year. And maybe I know he's pulled one or pushed one or shanked one here and there, but the one in Baltimore and the first field goal attempt were definitely blocked. What I want as a fan when Cade York goes out there to kick a field goal is, hey, traditionally if he misses this, he's going to push it right. Kind of like McPherson last night for the Bengals. I mean, McPherson was a darling to that franchise last year. And he might be in the doghouse with them right now. He's not the reason they lost the game, but he certainly didn't help. And I don't think this game is just the only game he's had struggles with. So kicking across the league has been, outside of Justin Tucker, has been a little suspect thus far this year. So anyway, honestly, if they can clean that up, and I don't have to be afraid or worry about a 50-yard attempt being blocked, I'll live with the results. Honestly, if you have the distance, it's going to go through or not. I just want it to get there and give yourself a chance. And I feel like with enough time and practice and stick with him and patience, that Cade York could be, a real solid piece in this roster for a long, long time. So, okay, so I want to move on to the general manager, the organization as a whole. Today was the trade deadline. It came and went. And I, for one, am very glad they did not trade Kareem Hunt. Two things. that really stand out to me is, so I understand that on any other team he would probably be more predominantly featured, right? And as a competitor, he wants that opportunity. Problem is Nick Chubb's on this team. So, yes, he is a backup running back, but I think we all know he's a little more than that to this team. Um, he plays with a swagger and a violence and a intensity that um, I think gives this offense juice, this whole team. And I know I enjoy as a fan watching it because Nick Chubb is just such a stone cold killer, all business, you know, and uh, and that's fine because it's effective, right? And I'm not saying Nick Chubb doesn't, have joy in what he does. I'm just saying there's just an aspect to it that Kareem Hunt brings to this team that he doesn't, and it's a nice peanut butter and jelly thing. I don't know how to describe it other than that. He's a good player, and if we traded him for what? Throwing a dart at a draft pick and hoping turns into something in a couple years from now, I'd rather just keep good players on my team, And free agency is a whole different animal, right? Like, that's why they get paid millions of dollars. You're under contract. So, when you become available on the market will tell you what's up. And I believe there's going to be some team out there that will sign him to a 3-4 year deal and feature him as their starting running back. He's that good. So for now, I'm glad he's still with us and on this team. Because knock on wood, God forbid, something happens. I'm just almost just as comfortable with him getting the primary workload as Nick Chubb. So I know it won't be forever, but I'm glad it's for now. Another thought I had last night that really kind of just now occurred to me that I hadn't really thought of before was what could this team look like with a Deshaun Watson at quarterback that shakes the rust off. And I finally started to dream a little bit, and it's like, whoa, y'all, we are not that far off. I mean, yes, defensively there are holes that need filled, but every team has holes. Really, that's all I have. Didn't mean to talk for half an hour, but I did. I guess what I'll leave you with this is I think we need to go 2-1 over the next three. Somehow, some way, good, bad, or ugly. We got to get 2 out of these next 3. And then we got to keep winning in the division. And we got to get Baltimore back. So that's it'd be really, really nice if we could get that done. If we can win our division somehow, some way, then that's our best shot to make the playoffs. And the easiest way to do that is to defeat your divisional opponents. We are 2-1 right now. Would love to go 5-1, but more likely if we go 4-2 and split with the Steelers, then hey, that's great in the division, to be honest. So, okay. Well, that was that. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time, till we are assembled again, farewell, my friends, and go Browns.